Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me here on this live stream. This is Lily Mutam's TV, and I'm Lilian Mutambo. For the past few days, it's been a few days of reflection and pain, as well as anger at what's going on in Zambia. Particularly, we've lost a great woman, okay? Madam Edith Nawakwi was a notable figure, not just anybody, but somebody who we can look back at the 90s that was in parliament and was a member of parliament. She was part of the MMD government and was a minister of finance. And with all these years of her working for Zambia and MMD losing power, we've never heard of any corruption cases against her. She's been a woman that has been hardworking. Of course, there's politics that is involved. In any politics, there's opinions. People share their opinions and, hate towards this governance and that governance. And particularly presently, I was in Zambia, and I know the economic situation in Zambia is really bad. And therefore, when people try to speak about the economic situation, especially people who are affluent, who are doing well, they lose nothing at the end of the day. And the person who loses is you, a Zambian citizen who is struggling, who cannot even meet your 3 meals a day because of the cost of meal, the cost of livelihood. But having said that, I am a woman who ventured in politics in 2021, and during the 2021 elections, I faced my own battles, and even till today, everybody comes to my social media platforms and disrespect me because I am a woman, and as a woman, I am regarded as I cannot be a leader, and my opinions don't count. And that's why I really want to speak about even the constitutional amendment. I was in Parliament last month when they started debating on the constitutional amendment. And I was there listening in shock when Honorable Kasune was talking about how this government is going to put many women in government and many youths. And I'm asking myself questions. I'm like, we were aspiring candidates and we were dumped. We were not treated as anything. Even up to now, I benefit nothing from any government, whether it's PF government or UPND government. I am not in any position or anything like that. Though we fought the struggle, we are considered as non-entities. So when I see a woman dying, and then I see what's going on social media, I will speak up because I'm a woman, and the struggle for Zambia continues. But many people have seen women who are aspiring for politics. They are called different names. This person is mentor. They are sexually starved. We've seen people disrespecting this woman. You can argue in politics, but why would somebody come on social media and disrespect this woman and people are clapping hands to say, yeah, go on, you're doing a good job? Why? Because a woman is trying to speak about how she feels about her nation, Zambia. I lose nothing. I live in the United Kingdom. My children are born in the UK. I lose nothing. But when we try to speak about what is going on in Zambia, when we try to stand in the communities of Zambia, trying to help, we are called names like money, money, egg, egg. You have nothing to do. You are this. They talk about how many children you have. That's the Zambian politics. Disrespecting women. Forgetting about the work that they have done. And that's why the whole constitution amendment is laughable. Because already we can see that even in Parliament when I was there, I only saw men. I only saw a few women. And therefore, even as we see our mother is trying to speak about issues, yes, she may not be correct according to you guys, how you analyze things, but the disrespect towards this woman has been too much for the past years. And that's why there are so many women in Zambia who are very intelligent. Guess what? They are in the corporate world minding their business. And when I speak to them, I ask them questions. Why don't you want people to, why don't you want to stand in politics? They say, so that people should disrespect my family? I'm okay. As long as I am able to feed my family and I'm able to have a peaceful life. So many women would want to participate in politics. I felt so ashamed on behalf of Princess Kasuna as she was trying to talk about, the young people. I didn't see young people in parliament apart from independent candidates. And I personally, as a woman, I was bullied within my political party by the very people who are supposed to stand with me. That's the Zambian politics. And for how long are we going to be fighting for who is what? This is what. Any political party that comes in position is trying to punish another. We look at the politics in the United Kingdom. That's not how it works. It's all about how do we help our country. They've just increased the minimum wage in the UK because of the economic crisis, which is global. We are not talking about minimum wage in Zambia. We are focused about how PF messed up the economy for 5 years. We're still talking about PF. And things are very expensive right now. A bag of meal is 400 kwacha. And people are getting salaries of 2,500. In fact, that's even a decent amount. People are getting a salary of about 1,500 kwacha. You saw Madam Edith Nawakwi's family. Those people are not struggling. They will continuously be living in wealth whilst you suffer. So I look at her death. Is it worth it to struggle for the people of Zambia? Is it worth it to be disrespected? I looked at how Madam Nalumango, a respectable figure, was disrespected yesterday. I don't support that. I don't support that. What has she done? She's simply a vice president who has been given a position as to where she can go and what she can do. She's only instructed where she can go. And therefore, if she doesn't have a voice, it tells you there's something. Women are deprived of the opportunities to speak up. Women cannot say anything. Their opinions don't matter in Zambia. We're a country that are so masculine. And if a woman wants to stand up, you take her to the police station in her condition when she was unwell. Who does that? And today we see people crying, shedding tears. What level of hypocrisy is this? When she was alive, she said it in a video. I've seen it on media. It's my first time even seeing it, where she was stating to say, I'm not feeling well, but they've denied me to go to the hospital. Why? Because the political situation in Zambia is very toxic. All we want is to punish one another. We want to show that now we're in power, forgetting that every person who is in power only has a term of 5 years or 10 years. And now we're fighting for the constitutional amendment, where they're now saying presidential elections and all those elections, 5 years. Who's going to vote for people to be for 7 years? Who's going to vote for people to be in power for 7 years with what is going on? I even applaud Nigeria that do it for 4 years. We should revise our own and do it for 4 years, because 5 years is too much. You're talking about you want the young people. How many young people are in positions right now? We just had a local government minister being fired. And we have a senior man who is now the one who is the local government minister. Meanwhile, there's so many young people who are suffering, who are very intelligent. 65% of the youth are struggling. It's not because now, towards the election, we should bring a bill now. Constitution amendment. Let's debate about it. Because now time is running out. And I can assure you this. The Zambian people are very angry. I'm not going to beat about the bush. Okay? If I post right now and say, I'm offering 1,000 kwacha, 20,000 comments will come on social media. Why? Because the young people are struggling. So when I see a mother like Madam Edith Nawakwi, who was struggling and fighting for the people of Zambia. She has nothing to lose. She has a company, Legana Sausages. She's got a farm. And nobody can tie her to any corruption case. And therefore, her legacy was supposed to be maintained. She was supposed to be respected. Why should we chastise people because now we're in power? Why should people feel the way they feel? Talk about the people who are hired right now. You don't even want to know. I can be silent on social media, but I know a lot. Talk of the people who are hired in council offices. We already know who's there. And you think us people who struggled, who would fly down from the United Kingdom to Zambia, we are foolish because we have nothing to do. We are looking at how the economic situation is being handled in the United Kingdom. And then we look at Zambia. We are blaming PF every day. I've never been a supporter of PF. Most of you know that. But it's like I'm married to my husband now. And all I do is talk about my ex. You know my ex this. My ex used to do this. Do you think the man is going to be comfortable? We have to move forward. We have to move forward. And as a woman, everybody is just feeling like, oh, no, just focus on your family. You can't speak about these things. And I'm a person who's compassionate about the economic situation in Zambia and how people are struggling and surviving. I travel to Zambia a lot. We do a lot of charity work. Some of the charity works we don't even share. And therefore, when I see people politicizing a situation, it's getting me angry. Where were you when this woman needed to go for cancer treatment? Where were you when this woman was speaking out about her health issues? I've seen a video of her being, everybody just following her at her place early in the morning to say, you have a case, come to the police station. Should Zambians live in fear? Anybody who's speaking has to be abroad. You can't speak if you're in Zambia. If you speak, the next minute you're in a police station. What is that? Where is the freedom of speech? I used to talk about the Patriotic Front. I would call them all sorts of names. I would talk about Bowman Lusambo. I would talk about Kampiongo. And I would still travel to Zambia. Nobody touched me in any way. But now people are even fearing to speak. We have JJ Banda who has left Zambia. We have Chilufya Tahali who has left Zambia. We have Waimi who's left Zambia. I am not even supporting whatever insults they address to people, no. But why should a Zambian citizen run away from their country and speak from outside? This has never been our Zambia. At the end of the day, everybody will die. And the same Zambia we are fighting over will remain. We are allowing other countries to keep our people. Because in Zambia, we have made it a place that is so toxic. And people are scared to speak. And even as they try to speak, they are silenced. Where did we get to this place? At what point did we get to this place? Now this woman has died. And people are suddenly playing so nice. And I was angry yesterday. What is that? A woman has lost her life in the political struggle fighting for the nation of Zambia. And all you could think of is pay her with a very beautiful burial. Put all of these flowers and give her a state funeral. Really? When she needed to fly to India for chemotherapy, no one gave her a chance. So what are we fighting for? Who are we fighting for? Who are we fighting for? If the people that understand the economy from the 90s are being chastised until they die, this is a Zambia that we want, where we shed crocodile tears. She's no more, she's gone with all her brains, all her intelligence. She's gone. I'm not supporting whatever used to be discussed, but her death has pained me. Madam Edith Nawakwi's death has pained me. Because it's better we try for somebody. Let them receive all the help they need. But last minute, 2 days before, and then she dies. Or she's been repatriated to South Africa. So we're supposed to be clapping. Yes, she's in South Africa now. Her body is coming back when she had years of struggle. What are we fighting for? Tomorrow, this government is no more in power. The same thing is a repeated cycle. And who are being used? The voters are being used. We are being used. We struggle, we fight, we talk about, let's remove this government in power. And guess what? We are in a repeated cycle of the past. The only difference is we don't have cadres in the street, but the suffering is intense. I felt it. I felt it. And sometimes I wonder to say, okay, where are the promises? I see young people, they are struggling. What is happening in Chingola right now? The young people's Black Mountain, which they used to survive on. Yes, it was illegal mining. But it has been given to the Chinese. The same things we were talking about when the Patriotic Front were in power. So what's the difference? What's the difference? Except we have leadership that can speak very well. And at the end of the day, people are struggling. What the youth are surviving on, you take it away from them. And now the youths are struggling. So you tell me now, what are the youths in Chingola eating? Because right now, there's a riot in Chingola. I've not seen any food aid there. And now there's what you call cash for work. Really? In the 4th year, I should receive cash? Because next year is elections? What is that? What's the difference with what the PF used to do as well? Everybody is panicking now because they know that next year, majority of the MPs will not even take a seat. What is that? I went to my constituents, I couldn't believe it. Every day my phone is ringing and buzzing. People are crying, help us. I said, how can I help you? I'm not in government. I don't have CDF. And then we want to show people how CDF is working. Oh, education is free. It's not everybody that can go to school. Okay, you go to school. Will you eat books? How long does education take? It's a process. I've got my degree and my master's. Am I working as a degree holder? No. We have also Vajibia, who also needs help. I haven't followed much of his story. But what are we doing? Where is humanity in all this? We've seen criminals in America who are arrested, but they receive proper medical help in hospitals. Even in the UK. We're not giving these people support. Okay, what offense have they done? What offense did Madam Edith Nawakwi do? I want to know. Because people are saying she committed which crime? Which crime? And now we're seeing people at a funeral booing each other. And we're supposed to clap for UPF for booing Madam Nalumango. I'm certainly not going to clap for you because that woman is innocent. Okay? The reason why she's being bullied is because, again, she's a woman. Everybody looks at a woman as somebody who cannot do anything in this country, in our country, Zambia. Imagine I've got a degree and a master's, yeah? And you see the people they will be even adopting are people that do kwempa. They get the positions. At the end of the day, they're failing to work. You understand? That is why countries like Canada, Australia, the UK, they are grabbing graduates. On top of that, even the Zambian nurses right now cannot even come to the UK because the former Minister of Health, I'm told, she put a ban on it. Zambia is on a red list. So how are people going to survive? Because we have more than 10,000 nurses who are at home, Mumushi. We have more than 20,000 teachers who are at home. See how when they are recruiting teachers, how people are happy. You should be happy like that. Why? Because there is no chance for you to get a job. Our country's situation has gone to the worst. Let's not even beat about the bush. Let's not argue even about how the currency looks and that. Those are not important. For me, I'm looking at the salary is still the same. And guess who's enjoying Zambia? The foreign nationals are enjoying Zambia, whilst the Zambian is struggling. And the foreigners, they laugh at us. Your country is very rich. We've got a lot of land, minerals, but we're suffering. And then we have investors that keep on coming into Zambia. I've told you guys this before. Just go to the airport and see how many investors keep coming into Zambia. So many. A Zambian cannot even afford a piece of land. Then why are we called Zambians? If I'm a Zambian, I should be entitled to a piece of land. A foreign national comes in. They're buying land at 2,000 kwacha per hectare from the villages. And they discover there's gold there. What is that? So many young people are qualified. They have no jobs. And everybody wants to politicize. Madam Nawakwi has done this. She has done this. At 60-something years old, she has worked. She has a company. Not just one, many. And then we have people who are talking about the daughter correcting her name. That's not important. She will say that because she knows her rights. You made a mistake on my name. Correct my name. Or she should be mourning her mother. Da. How much is the average salary right now? She's gone. The struggle for Zambia continues. And when I saw certain people who are in parliament, you were in parliament in MMD. Even in UPND, you are in parliament. Tufulo? Is it chieftaincy? And now you are even asking to extend to 7 years. And you expect which Zambian to support that? Zambians are quiet. They are not foolish. Zambians are quiet. They are not foolish. They will be praising you. Zambians have learned one thing. To be silent and teach you a lesson at the ballot. The Patriotic Front thought they were very powerful. Zambians taught them a lesson. And everything that is happening, Zambians use other accounts, pseudo accounts where they don't even speak. They don't even speak. They are complaining inside. They are burning inside. They are boiling inside. And the death of Madam Edith Nawakwi has added another piece. If people think that Madam Nawakwi is no longer there, that's it. They will be, hey. Her death has actually sent a message. We've been used as voters. We've been used to put people in power so that they should chastise other people. They are so-called enemies. Where is this enemyship coming from? I've been in the UK for 21 years. I've never seen the former president, that former cabinet minister being chastised. I've never. It's in Africa we see these things. Where we want to see ourselves, we are powerful. It's my time to punish you people. What is all that? And the same police who are doing what they are doing, they are just doing their job. But guess what? They'll be the same police to do the same to anybody who leaves power. They are doing that to Boma and Lusambo now. They are doing that to other people. But let's think about it. What sort of politics are we doing in Africa, in Zambia particularly? A politics of fighting each other? A politics who are kupianisha? If this person takes over, yes, I'll also teach that on a lesson, and another one. And then people are not lasting for many years. And then you'll find people, they'll be praise singing. I'm talking about how, you don't know, this person helped a lot, so they deserve a position. This person did this and this, so they deserve to be here. Whilst the youth wastes away and becomes a junkie. Where did these junkies come from? They came from the youth being depressed. It should send a message that something is missing. You've promised people a lot of things. Yes, we can clap for free education. Not everybody wants to go to school. We can talk about, you can do farming. Who does farming when land is just 30 by 30 is 100,000 kwacha? Where are you going to get the money from? A piece of land is 300,000 kwacha. What more now a farm? How many hectares? People can't talk, they are living in fear. I'm here as a neutral person. Like I've said, Madam Edith Nawakwi's political journey, there are so many good things she did, but they've been covered by the negativity that people have to say about her. Let's talk about load shedding. Imagine some of us, if we didn't have a type of financial muscle, we wouldn't even have put solar. Every day there's no electricity. Businesses have gone down. How does a tailor survive when there's no electricity? How does a hairdresser survive when there's no electricity? These are the things we should be focusing about. Not putting a constitutional amendment somewhere. Now, we should be here now. Okay, so next year they're promising us. Everybody knows that it's just to be used and dumped. When the time comes, they'll pick themselves and dump many young people. And no political party is the exception, because now what I've seen is like, this one wants to punish this one. This one is an enemy of this one. I was seeing how they were arriving at the funeral, all of them. I said, when are these politics? Everybody wants to make a name for their page, for their people that they have arrived at a funeral. Someone's funeral. That's why the white people, they make sure that their funeral is private. What is all that? What is all that? Zambia is not monetized. The youth cannot be paid through anything. So how do you expect a young person to survive? The rate of HIV is up now. What does it tell us? There was a news I was listening to the other day that a certain university in Zambia has a high rate of STIs and HIV. Why? The young people are going for married men. There is no way to survive. People are infecting each other. The future generation does not care because there is PrEP or PrEP, whatever it's called. Where did we get to this? How did we get to this? We took out the Patriotic Front because of the cadarism. We were tired of it. But now this, you can't even speak, you're living in fear. If I say something, they will do something to me. People are speaking from outside. What is that? What is that? Is this a Zambia we wanted? Is this a Zambia we voted for? And then you are trying to convince us for a constitutional amendment? In what way? Oh, because I'm being promised I'm going to be a young woman in parliament, really? When the grassroots, the branches are easily bribed. Just 5,000 kwacha will buy people. This issue happened even in Petauke. The popular candidate was sidelined by a so-called chairman who received some money. They put that person stood independent. He's won. No, actually he stood on Tonse. He has won. What does that tell us? And next year, the so-called branches and structures, the people are in power, they will be even more corrupt. Yes, next year. We are talking about fighting corruption, really? What corruption are we fighting? When an average Zambian cannot even afford 2 meals a day. Where did we get to this stage? Me, I would even be happy if I see Tuma cars being given to the youths. For them to be doing Uber driving is better. Small car. 100 youths in this place. 100 youths in that place. Let them be doing taxi as a cooperative or something. People are suffering. Mr. President, sir, it's so painful to see how the Zambian people are suffering. Things are bad in Zambia. And who suffers the most? A Zambian who is abroad has to feed so many families. Because if they don't, who will feed them? There's no means to survive. Those who are in the corporate world are silent, but angry. That woman that has died is a symbol that women are disrespected in Zambia. A woman is the one who bears children. So if a woman is in pain and she's got cancer, forget about the court cases. Forget about anything. Let her health be stable. Then you can talk about the court cases. But whilst she was in that condition, there was even suggestions that a court session should be held at her house. Who does that? How did we get to this stage of trying? So do you think this woman will be fine? The system has killed her. No beating about the bush. We're talking about preserving the rights of women in parliament, women in politics. I don't see that. And unfortunately, opposition, there's nothing, I don't even see anybody who is there to say they will help us or help the situation. It's another 5 years that will carry over. So my Zambian people, you saw what happened at the NSPPD. The president, vice president was there. She saw the youths that turned up. They are angry. They are fighting battles. They are broke. They have no jobs. The only solution now is to pray to God. You think people just went to pray there because they have nothing to do? People are going through a lot. And with the national minimum wage remaining the same since 19 Pendefcon, it has never increased. It has been the same in the Patriotic Front. There is no even national minimum wage at present. We spoke about it. Some of us even promised that we'll make sure that this government will increase the national minimum wage. Today, we look like we are just people who were just talking. It's very painful to see a woman die in her state, forgetting her legacy. When we look at how this person has worked so hard, we should forget about the political arguments. Everybody made negative remarks against each other when they were in position. And now they're in position. People made negative remarks. We have forgiven people. But why can't we forgive a woman? She's left young children. The young girl we saw, the mother will probably never see the grandchildren because she's not yet married. The young man we saw in the wheelchair. The family is left to mourn their mother, their loved one, their sister, whilst the journey in politics in Zambia continues. Who is next? Who is next to be chastised? We are waiting to see who will be slapped with another offense. Who is next? This will carry on. Will carry on. I am told President Lungu is not feeling well. It's not fair. Let's imagine we are not prioritizing the health of these people. Are you telling me now you will have time to prioritize health of the Zambian people? There is no medication in hospitals. People have to buy medicine. this page, I receive messages daily. Prescription. People want medication. You go to the hospital, drink Panadol. Pregnant women have no access to proper health care. And yet, we were promised as women that we'll be looked after. A woman has given birth to children. She has no blanket, she has no pads. That should be our priority. I went in one of the toilets in the UK. I'll do a video about it one of these days. And there were so many pads in the toilet. Feel free to pick. Even if you don't have pads, the schools, they have pads for the young people. How many young people miss school because they don't have pads? So many. And we're focusing on fighting Madam Edith Nawakwi. She's gone now. She's dead now. No more. She's now in a peaceful world. So, are you now happy? Those that used to talk about her, are you happy? Putting her in a big van with cancer. Hey! This is wickedness. Wickedness I've never seen in my life. Somebody has cancer. You go and put her in a van with no proper oxygen. She's in a police cell. And you expect people to clap. She had a state funeral, nice coffin and a flag. She deserves a state funeral, of course. She was a former minister. She was in government. So she deserves it. When we talk about the mines, so much is going on. A lot is going on. And if some of us were to speak about it, it would take the whole day. But what I can tell you is, a Zambian is suffering whilst a foreigner is enjoying Zambia. We have prioritized foreign nationals. If the foreign nationals are bringing employment, no problem. But how much is their salary? What's the minimum wage? And next year, we are expected to queue up 5 o'clock, 3 a.m. to vote. That what? We are going to be voting that what? Oh, yes, because there's CDF in my constituency. Really? Oh, because there's free education. Really? Oh, because now, this time, we'll have many women. How many women are doing anything incredible in Zambia? You can see that this woman is a politician and is standing her ground and she's speaking. The moment she stands, they want to silence her. They start attacking her character, start insulting the husband, start insulting the children, start talking about how this and that and that. So we just watch from the terraces. A woman has lost her life. She has left her children. She sacrificed her life for the Zambian people. And she was paid back with disrespect, with insults, and as well, she was paid back with a death sentence. Because if somebody dies in her case the way she has died, it was a death sentence. At the end of the day, somebody saying, did she announce she had cancer? She kept, so how would the police know? Or you didn't watch when she said it herself, the videos are there. Why are you supporting rubbish? And it's shameful that a woman can even talk like that. The videos are there, you are still arguing. You should have shame. You understand? The failures that we are seeing and experiencing in Zambia are as a result of focusing on the wrong things and channeling the energy on the wrong things. If we ignore all these people, JJ, Waimi and all those people, look, if Waimi is put in the police cell like he was, at whose expense? The taxpayer. And if he's being taken from A, B, he's being fed. He's being transported from A to B's fuel. And that's why we're giving these so-called people the muscle to continuously to disrespect elderly people. I don't support that. But this government, nobody should lie to you that there is no strong opposition. And politics, don't feel too powerful. Your opponents are preparing for something bigger. So if you think you will continuously be in power, you are in for a shock, because the Zambian people next year are going to do a protest vote. They are just quiet. Listen to what I'm saying. The Zambian people next year are going to do a protest vote. They are not happy. They will click on anyone that they can click on, as long as it's not this government. And that's the truth. I don't get paid by anybody. So I know what I'm talking about. People are speaking from different angles. We hear. And the problem when a government and people are not listening to what, those in positions are not listening to what people have to say, they grow wings and big-headed say, oh, there's no stronger. Huh? In politics and the way the Zambian voters work, let's not underestimate any of them. Try next year. Believe it or not, the Zambian people will shock you. The Zambian people will shock you. They are just silent, complaining in their hearts. You will see 5 o'clock votes, 6 o'clock, and you say, Tawida. Eh? Some people are even saying, by 12 o'clock, we'll win. Eh? By 12 o'clock, you will win where? Start correcting things now. You want us to support constitutional amendment? Let us see you appointing as many women now. We cannot wait for next year. It's too far. We want to see women in positions. The women that were appointed as MPs, how many were appointed? I think I only know one. Out of the 8 seats that are supposed to be appointees. So how do we support? Because we stood against Bill 10, which was standing for the same, but this one has just been, what do you call it? Canvassed, costumized with a good language of constitutional amendment, and then given to Princess Kasune to speak, to make it look good. But when I was feeling sorry when she was speaking, because she didn't even know what she was saying. She didn't even know what she was saying. No, when this constitution is put in what, then we're going to have so many women in power. This president, this is what they are promised. We failed to appoint many women for them to be adopted in political parties. It's now in the 4th year of governance that we should be fighting. The constitution should have started in the beginning of this tenure. But it is at the end of this tenure, and we're expected to accept that there's another 7 years. Who's going to vote for people for more suffering in the next 7 years? Another 7 years. Ha. If it's the MPs, I feel sorry. I feel sorry. Because what people are saying in all the constitution, especially Lusaka, a lot of things are being said. There's a lot of things that are going on, which some of us, we are just looking. But when people are calling to speak to us, to complain, to help them, how we can help them, we just look at it as another season is coming next year. The same people are crying again. They'll be given money and they'll be voting the same people again. So next year, 2026 elections are coming, and the ground is very is not fatal for the current. And it's not fatal for the former. The Zambian people are stuck in between. Who do we go for? Our mother is no more, she has died. And it will be nice for us to continuously respect her legacy. Some people are saying she chose politics, so you know, you are trying to bring all the old videos, what she would say and things like that. People have a lot to say against each other in the political world. That's why they call it a dirty game. But Madam Edith Nawakwi's death should have been avoided. There are deaths that can be avoided. At least let this person even say, I have been unwell. They made sure I went to the hospital. Now I feel better. It's better. People have run away from Zambia now. And we are just watching. There is nobody who is speaking about Zambia, about what is happening that is in Zambia. There's a lady in the UK that has dedicated a page. Chair lady, she calls herself. Every day, pointing at the mistakes, the what. And you should see how people are supporting behind her, are rallying behind her. She's in the UK. Then we have people who are paid in Zambia to praise everything that's going on and to find faults and mistakes in somebody like Chair Lady when she's speaking. Okay? She's a woman who is crying for the people of Zambia. Then somebody comes, hey, that's why you're married in America to a Mzungu. What I'm talking about, the economy, I'm doing what you call balances, checking balances. What is that got to do with what I'm talking about? That's the only fight. You had to run away to marry a Mzungu. Look at you, you're talking from there. But forgetting that every Zambian, you have a right to speak about your country. And in any place where I'm sent as a Zambian to represent my country, I'll always speak about Zambia. Okay? And Mebo, you can't just come on my video and start talking about we're going to vote for Bali or Lungu. That's the downness of you people. You are a woman, you are there talking rubbish. That's the reason why you are where you are. Or maybe, anyway, I can't say much. We know people like you, your type, that talk like that because you're benefiting. That's why you talk like that. I'm speaking for the average Zambian who cannot survive. It's the same women who even start bringing insults to fellow women. So how do you expect even men to respect us if you don't even respect yourself as a woman? I'm talking about somebody who has died. Respect yourself. People are suffering, and you're talking about you vote this, you vote that. Nobody cares about who we are going to vote for. We care about what we're going to eat today. Between now and next year, we'll be waiting until we vote to eat in Shima. Don't bring that useless talk here. Use your brain. People are struggling a lot in Zambia. And we're speaking about how people are struggling. And we're also speaking about the woman who has passed on. And how her struggle in politics has been about disrespect. And not looking into her welfare. If there is a woman had no money, she was not rich, where she could even pay for her own bills at Coptic hospital, she would have died a long time ago. But even at that, she was deprived of traveling for her medical care. Okay? Remember, I'm saying she's in the UK. So if you're in the UK, you just have to come to my page and disrespect. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Are you even a voter? Do you even know the struggles we went through under the Patriotic Front? So you think we'll be here to support PF for what? Why would I even support PF? Do I look like somebody who can support PF? I'm not supporting anybody. I'm standing for the Zambian people who are struggling. At the end of the day, the same Zambian people are being used. They vote for people to champion people's battles. We're putting people in power for them to use their machinery, state machinery, to fight people. We're wasting resources. If Madam Edith Nawakwi's health was deprived, what about an average Zambian who cannot even afford medical health care? So many Zambian people cannot afford to be looked after by proper hospitals. But those who can afford with private hospitals, they are quiet. So when you hear us speak, we're speaking for the Zambian who cannot even buy millimil. You're telling me you're voting for who when the junkies have risen in this season? And who is a junkie? A youth. Isn't a youth supposed to be the future of Zambia? Should we be clapping when we're supposed to be fighting for those children? If you are a mother, you feel the pain of those children. Like I said, I lose nothing. My children are in the United Kingdom. My son is at university studying economics in a British university, government paid for. I lose nothing. So if I'm speaking, we are speaking because we are hurt. And I don't stand for anybody except the Zambian people. Because Madam Edith Nawakwi was a Zambian. Regardless of her words or whatever was spoken, her health should have been prioritized. Are we going to repeat these mistakes again? I know there's no repeat it again, but I will say it. Are we going to repeat these mistakes? Are we going to look at this woman's death as it's just a by the way? In every death, we should look at what failed. In this case, she was chastised, even in a negative condition. Who can be better if you are having 20 police at your door at 8 o'clock in the morning? Do you think you can even eat your next meal? A condition like cancer is very delicate. Whether she told anybody or not, a woman's health should be prioritized. And therefore, I do not support the constitutional amendment because it's just cheap talk to entice Zambian young people and women. If we are talking about the constitutional amendment to work with people, young women and young people, we start by demonstrating with our counterparts, with our so-called enemies. Our enemyship should just be about our differences in what we are doing for Zambia. I'm not going too personal. Even if you are sick, we'll come to your house and have a court session there. And even the legal team who are registered with LAS will leave their offices to go to our house. Has it ever happened before? And in all this, we say Zambia is a Christian nation. If somebody hurts you, forgive them. Learn to forgive. You'll be tired of looking for who to punish next. And even these people that are surrounding you, Mr. President, some of them are your enemies. Never be too comfortable with people who are praising you. Let people tell you the truth. Things are bad. Madam Nalumango, you are a woman in politics who should have stood for Madam Edith Nawakwi. You should have stood for her. Made sure she received the support And that's why people are angry when you are laying the flowers there. What's the point of laying expensive flowers to somebody who is dead? When she was alive, you never showed her that love. You could have easily sent her flowers from the office of the president to her office and say to her, my sister, we're in politics, but your health matters. And that's why many people even feel discouraged when we call this Zambia as a Christian nation. Because we have leaders, pastors, who are now politically hungry. They are fed by the belly. They cannot even speak on matters. The church should be speaking for the people of Zambia. They are quiet. And now they see Pastor Jerry is coming to Zambia. Having 20,000 people in one place, they are angry. How can you be angry when you are doing preaching on the pulpit of the belly? When the brown envelope is what satisfies you. You are not standing for the nation of Zambia. Come October, you'll be doing fasting. You'll be alone. Why? Because the Zambian people are awake. Social media, go to TikTok and see what people are saying. The Zambian people are awake and they are aware, they know. We're seeing a father, a clergyman, flying to different places because he's been given a position. He cannot even speak. He's busy defending. That's why a clergyman should never be in politics. You should be there to see what is going on and advise. Because as a clergy, people come to you with different cries. I was happy that the president had a meeting with the clergy. But this clergy should not just benefit themselves. They should look at the Zambian people. Tell you, Mr. President, the truth. Tell you, Mr. President, that this is what people are saying in our churches. How can we help our people? At the end of the day, every Zambian is entitled to feed through the taxpayer. Let me repeat. Every Zambian is entitled to feed through the taxpayer. The taxes that Zambians pay is to feed the low-income Zambians. That is how the system in the Western world is. If somebody is not working, the government helps them to pay their rent. If somebody is not working, the government pays them a salary. If you have children, they pay you per child. That's if you are entitled, you are a resident, you are permanent. Why? They want the whole country to meet somewhere. Okay? Mabel says, truth be told, she was a troublesome woman. Stop blaming others. You have not understood my point. Troublesome or not, all these politicians have been saying negative words against each other. That's politics. But when somebody is unwell, we have to look after that person. And not wait for her to die, then offer her condolences and flowers. That's our statement. How did we get to this stage where we don't forgive one another? We don't prioritize the health of somebody who is not feeling well. So if a rich person like Madam Edith Nawakwi was not well looked after in her condition, it tells me that any average Zambian who's not well will struggle. Because we are not looking at the Zambian woman who is giving birth on the floor. Okay? There are so many Zambian women who are giving birth and they don't have the essentials to give birth. We need to prioritize women. That's my point. Because if I go to the UK hospital, they will look after me 5-star when I'm giving birth. Everything will be done for me. I'll have my own midwife alone. I'll have my own birthing room alone. How many women in Zambia are struggling? We are fighting for Mother Zambia, yet the women who are fighting for the Mother Zambia are disrespected, highly disrespected. Are we going to continue like this as a nation of Zambia? And that's why I've said I do not support the so-called constitutional amendment, because it has never happened, even now that we are seeing women being supported. How will it happen next year? Food for thought. Everything that I've said it as a Zambian citizen who does not belong to this political party or that political party. We are looking at Zambia. We only have one Zambia. We fight. Somebody is depressed, they die. You continue fighting another person. Continue fighting. Then what is the struggle for? Power? For people to see that you are in position, or power to help the people of Zambia? If our positions in government and as a government is to help the people of Zambia, then we must start by demonstrating that we don't have time to talk about our openness, but we have time to focus on how Zambian people are surviving in this economic crisis. The British government knows there's an economic crisis. Guess what? They've brought in more opportunities. They've brought in more money for their people. What about our people? How many are having access to certain things because they cannot read and write? So you can't tell me, go to school. The president has brought free education. You benefit. Will school feed anybody? Will degree feed you? You have to look for a job. So in the meanwhile, we have to work united as Zambians. The struggle is to see an average Zambian survive. The struggle is not to see who is going to be next. People are even pointing, next is GBM. Oh, I forgot. What happened to Mr. Chimba Kambwili? He had court cases in far places. On his way to the court case, his two brothers died. How many more people will be feeling so much pain like this? Like this is two families. Plus the brother himself. Now he's silent. People will be there. We finished him. Your turn will be next as well. When you're no longer in leadership. When you're no longer in leadership, the very system that we are using now will be the system that will do that against you as well. So let's be careful with all these people that surround us. People can't even afford to buy Panadol. My messages are buzzing. If I were to show you my inbox, I have messages of people asking for help. Young people are struggling. So if young people are struggling, why are we then focusing on making sure that Madam Edith Nawakwi has a court case in her house? Then our priorities are wrong. If our priorities when we formed government was to make sure that we can punish Edith Nawakwi, GBM, there's even a list, then our priorities are wrong. Let us focus on helping the Zambian people. If I were to show you my messages from people who send me asking for help, it's a pity. I cannot. I'm not government. And that's why some of us will even say, you look at us as women. We are not going to be there in those positions to feed ourselves. Because if Madam Edith Nawakwi was in those positions to feed herself, by now, after Chiluba's reign, she would have been having corruption cases. Not even one corruption case. Because a woman knows the struggles. A woman knows when it's time to eat. A woman is the one who thinks about everybody. Sometimes I can't even sleep because I have to see who are going to help in Zambia. Bamumbipiri, I'm not a supporter of what she used to say. But look at how she was treated as well. So when people in Zambia look at the way the women are being treated, do you think they're inspired to do politics? They'll be there in big bank positions like our sister Muzingamelu, who's in a big position and is enjoying her peace. You think she wouldn't want to be a politician? She would want to. But she knows the moment she steps in that ground, insults will start. So the respect she has, it's better she maintains it. Huh? So now, the court can go to the graveyard and finalize the case. Since you really want to find the case on this lady, now that she is dead, you invite the children to come and listen to the inquest. We've reached at a very bad stage as Zambia. Last time, Prophet Joshua Iginla said, leave all these people alone. You see, the problem is, there are people who advise wrongly. And when they advise wrongly, they'll be the very people to turn against. Against that, people can be in positions to advise wrongly so that people can see mistakes in what you are doing. And then they'll use that against you. There are so many people who work double toil. In the political world, which is very dirty, I wouldn't trust anybody and any advice. So my conclusion is, these are just messages from people. I want you to just see from afar how all these I've not yet read. Okay? I've not yet read. Each and every message is asking for help. Okay? So, Oscar has come to comment. You prostitutes are telling us that when a politician commits crimes, then they should just leave them. You see? A married woman, as I am, Oscar thinks the word to use is prostitute. How did we get to this stage? This is the politics of Zambia. At least Oscar Chifumba, you have demonstrated. And if I am a prostitute, did I ever sleep with your father? You understand? You want to disrespect a woman who is speaking about the affairs of the country without insulting anybody. I'm not insulting anybody. I'm simply speaking my mind. And your best word is to call a woman a prostitute. Thank you. But that's the Zambia we have created, where every woman is disrespected. And Oscar has demonstrated why so many good women who can be in political positions speak on the affairs of Zambia are silent, because women are seen as prostitutes. Thank you for highlighting the word I avoided. This is exactly what Madam Edith Nawakwi was called before. So even when a woman is married, she has children with her husband, she has a home, she's a prostitute. That lady that speaks from UK, chair lady, she's called a prostitute as well, because she's speaking on the affairs of our country, Zambia. At the end of the day, you, what's your name? Because Jared, my son, is Oscar. You don't even have a plot of land to your name. And yet me, as a prostitute, you're calling me, I have many plots to my name and titles. I even have tenants in Zambia whilst you struggle. I can live in Zambia very comfortably, and every month I'm eating 50,000 of rent. I don't need to have a job in Zambia. So the struggle is for you, who is here insulting me. That's a disrespect. that women get in the Zambian politics. You can't even say, oh, Madam Lily, but what do you think? You are a prostitute. You can't tell us what's happening. And Oscar, I will find you. Ask anybody who knows me. I will find you and I will make sure you understand the word prostitute. Very useless. So my conclusion is that every Zambian woman who wants to stand and speak for the people of Zambia is a prostitute. So Madam Edith Nawakwi was not respected because she was seen as a woman who has multiple boyfriends. Because there's a guy who came to talk like that. At the end of the day, we need to respect our mothers. We need to respect our women. And also encourage more women in politics. Because that is what we need to be doing. Next year will be hot. We'll be clapping. A or B. We are just in the middle. And at the end of the day, you will come back to another 5 years of the same things. My conclusion is that if people need to take a leaf from leadership, people should look at Mwanawasa's legacy. Mwanawasa's legacy is different. That man was unique. And Mr. President, these people who are following you about, they are just after positions. They will not tell you the truth about what is happening at the grassroots. Because they know they will receive 5p, they'll eat and keep quiet. They will receive Toyota Hilux. These days, I'm told, there's free Hiluxes going on. People are receiving Hilux. Because somebody will receive Hilux, they will not say the truth. Let's work for the betterment of Zambia. We are not working against ourselves because we want to punish ourselves, but we must work towards seeing how best an average Zambian can survive in this economic hardships. Not every Zambian can afford 400 kwacha meal. Not every Zambian can access free education. So we have to look at solutions that will help these Zambian women and men, young people, survive. There are high rates of mental health. People unaliving themselves these days is because of the economic hardships. So how do people survive when the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer? An average Zambian can only survive if they hustle. But even in the hustling, there's no opportunities. So there's high rates of HIV. We've seen videos of women even offering 50 kwacha. These days, we've seen even celebrities influencing the so-called selling as a means of survival. Many people cannot even speak about certain aspects of life in Zambia because they are scared. If they speak, somebody will come and arrest them or attack them. Freedom of speech is allowed and is necessary. And it's better when people are speaking so that you can hear the voices of people and act on them. But if people are silenced, then you think everything is okay. And then at the ballot, they'll shock you. We don't want politicians next year to have heart attacks and BP. Because next year, it's coming with a bang and a promise. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. So go little more times. Remember, we are all struggling and fighting for a better Zambia. We are not perfect, but together we can be one Zambia, one nation. Don't call us to pray on 18th October and think we're happy. We'll drink your water, we'll eat your food, your shima, and still vote for another person. Take care, guys. and may the soul of Madam Edith Nawakwi rest in peace. I pray for the family as well to have peace. It's not easy losing a loved one. Whether you people on the outside don't like the person, a loved one, it hurts. So let's be sensitive in how we talk and comment about this woman. She's a woman. She was a woman. She's a mother. And, you know, seeing her picture of her laying in prostrate just sent one message to me. Nobody is immortal. Everyone will die.